Good morning. Welcome back to Be More, where we believe that each and every one of us can be more and do more and have more and be able to give more back to the community and world they serve. Today, I want to talk to you about why we don't do the things we know we should. Why we set goals, like we talked about when we did the goal lesson, and why we just can't seem to make it happen. Why we go on a diet and eat dessert. Why we know we shouldn't be smoking as much as we do, or smoking at all, but we do. Why we constantly hit the snooze button in the morning for that few extra moments of sleep and end up rushing to work the next day. Why do we do those crazy things? Why do we do things we know the results are just going to be bad? We do them anyhow. There's a reason for it. You're not alone. Everyone in the world goes through this, but I'm going to help you understand. And I am also going to help you understand why, when you decide to make a change in your life, why it is so difficult. So don't be upset with yourself if you've tried and failed in the past, because there's a really good reason why you haven't succeeded. And let me tell you what, once you understand, it is not going to become a whole lot easier, but at least you will know what you're up against, right? You know what's going to rear its head when you're trying to make a change in your life, and you can expect it. What you do when the information comes will be totally up to you. I guarantee you, you will fail again. And by fail, I mean not succeed with your plan the first time. Because the only true failure is when you quit. If you fail and you just have to start again, that's just a next time. Let's try a way. That way didn't work, and I'm going to try it a different way. So never think of yourself as a failure. You're only a failure if you quit and you decide to give up. And I don't wish that on any of us, because all of us has the strength and power within us to bring forth whatever it is we desire in our lives. We truly do. So I'm going to talk about paradigms. Some of you have heard the word before. If you've listened to any of our Facebook recordings or our live streams, we talk about paradigms. So what is a paradigm? A paradigm lives in each and every one of us in our subconscious mind. It's our personal operating system. It's like a computer download that's been put in there for however many years we've been on this earth, and even prior, right, as we were melded together when our father and mother came together and we were brought into existence, our genetics, that is all in our physiological type paradigm. It's who made us what we are, our own operating system. Some of it is very good, but some of it can get in the way. It really can. You see, the way we think is part of our paradigm. The way we act, the way we speak, what we eat, where we live, how we interact with others, all of that is part of our paradigm. And it's formed by what we have learned over the years. If our parents were very cautious and told us to be very cautious, don't talk to strangers, right? We heard that growing up. Part of that is very good information. It really is. But if we take it too far, it can be detrimental to us, right? Some of the good things we learned, right? Tying your shoes is a paradigm. We know how to do it. It's an ingrained habitual behavior. We don't have to think about it. We drive a car. When we learn how to drive a car, we don't have to think about every step. Remember when you first learned to drive a car and you had to okay, I got to put the key in, I've got to turn it. If we had a clutch, I have a story about learning how to drive a clutch. But you have to put the clutch in and you have to just ease off it and then hit the gas. And if you don't, the car is going to jerk and stop. Oh, it's crazy. If you learn how to drive an automatic, it's a little easier, right? Turn the key, check your mirrors, check your seat, get your seat belt on, put the car in reverse, put the car in drive, and start driving. But now after you've driven, 10, 15 years, maybe even 1 or 2, it just becomes habitual. We don't think about it. How many times have you daydreamed driving? And you're just taking off down the interstate and 10 miles go by and you kind of come back to your present time and you're like, oh wow, I'm here already. Didn't even see that last exit or that landmark I normally see. Did I pass that already? You are just set in your brain and you're just going that way. And that's how our wonderful mind can work. It can just take control for us. Sometimes it's very good. Sometimes not so good. You see, because whatever path we've laid down, whatever habitual behaviors we've laid down, we will follow unless we interrupt them. When you make a change in your life and you decide you want something more, you want something better, bigger, more, you want more abundance, you want better health, you want a better job, a more purposeful job. You want better relationships or that perfect relationship. You want more time. You can't get more time, but you can learn how to organize it and manage it better. Or, very frequent, we want more money. We want financial freedom. We don't ever want to be out of debt. Out of debt signifies to us, when we keep talking about debt, debt is a negative word. Whatever you put your attention on is where energy flows. So if being out of debt is what you really want, you want financial freedom. Same entity, different result. Financial freedom is growth, it's expansion. The D word is constriction and lack. We always want to come from a place of abundance. Start working on that paradigm that way. If you're looking, I'm going to give another little tip on the abundance paradigm financially. When you're looking at a price tag on something, instead of saying how much does that cost, right? A cost is usually a lack and a loss, the cost of something. Instead, use the word investment. How much will my investment be for that? Because if you're investing in something, it has value and it brings value into your life. As we coach and consult with people and businesses, it's an investment. It's an investment in either personal growth, company growth, That's what it is. It's an investment, and you receive a return on that greater than the investment that you initially made. That's a tip buried in this training. So a paradigm. They come from our parents, our grandparents, well-meaning people that raised us, teachers, influencers, friends, peers. And there comes a time when you need to decide what you want and say, no, I'm going a different way. You can accept what they had to say. Know that most everything they shared was done out of love. As we grow up, people don't want to hurt us, generally speaking. They've done the best they could, and they learned from those that taught them. But some of the beliefs that my great-grandparents have no longer fit me. They no longer fit the life that I live and the world that we live in. So we decide to make a change. Why it's so difficult is because the ruts in the road are very deep, and those around us don't want us to change. They may say it on the surface, but deep in their subconscious mind, they may not even know it. There's fear. If you change, will you be the same? Will you still like me? Will you go a different way? Will you leave the group? Will you leave us behind? There's fear from the people making the change when you make the change, right? Will I become a different person? Yes. Does that mean I leave everything behind? No, not necessarily. There are things you will leave behind, and you'll decide what to leave behind and what not. Your family is your family no matter what. And some of them agree with what you're doing and some of them don't, and you have to be okay with that. But when you start to make a change, you have to be committed and you have to make that decision, because people will try to pull you back. They will want you back in the norm. They will want you back to that conformity. Change is feared. It's something different. It's an unknown. So be aware of that. My one really caveat is when you're making a change in your life, decide who is maybe a confidant that you can talk to about it and tell what you're doing, but don't tell the world. Protect whatever change that is or whatever your goals, like you would an infant. Don't expose it to everything. I guarantee you, people will ridicule you or say you can't do it. And all that will do is throw water on that dream. And if you're not strong enough, you'll just go back to conformity because it's easier. That's the way of the world. 95% of the world operates in conformity. So if you're listening to this, you're probably one of that, in that percentage that is saying, maybe there's another way. So that's where I'm going really to leave it today. Just to be aware. Right? Courage, as they say, is not the absence of fear or the opposite of fear. Courage is the opposite of conformity. So decide today if you want to step out and go for those dreams, or if you just want to be one of the masses. It's your choice. It's your life. That's all I have for you today. Have a great one, and we'll catch you later. Bye-bye for now.